Hey there, I'm Dottie. For those who might not know me, but you are receiving my emails, I'm a mom to two children. My oldest son, Dylan, is 33. He has autism, pretty, um, pretty high supports autism. He also has an intellectual disability and a lot of anxiety. And he's also a wonderful, wonderful human being. Love him. But I wanted to reply, just send a quick email reply to an email I sent a few days ago. Not sure if you got it. It was just about Dylan and how there's lots of changes going on for him. I had talked about in the email that he's had a increase in outbursts, major increase in anxiety, and a lot of it is because lots of changes going on for him. Staff are coming and going. Um, and I'm sorry, I've got my crazy smoke detector beeping. I've got to fix that. But yeah, he's just been really out of sorts because of these changes. And I've heard from a few other moms, I've heard from a lot of you, thanks, relating to it and saying, yep, I get it. And this is what it's like for my daughter or my son or the person I love with a disability. And then I heard from a few of you who, quite frankly, were kind of critical. You wondered why there's so many changes and I need to do better with keeping structure in his day and all those things. So I just want to address that quickly. I'm good with all the email replies, good emails, not so good emails, anything. So please continue to do that. But, you know, a lot of things that change in our adult loved one's life who have a disability are out of our control. And the changes in Dylan's staff are out of his control. In complete transparency here to this email list of moms and other caregivers, I will tell you that one of the staff have been with Dylan for over 5 years. Gosh, I think he's been with Dylan almost 6 years. This is a man who I felt like was part of our family. We did a lot for him, just felt really connected to this person. And honestly, if there was ever a time, if he would ever choose to live with Dylan as a caregiver, I would have let him do that. That's how much trust we had in him. So there was an issue about a month ago with this caregiver. Where Dylan got upset. And so when Dylan gets upset, he'll yell. And sometimes he'll throw things. So he doesn't throw them at you, but he might like swipe things off a table while he's yelling. That's what his outbursts look like. I don't want to go, and he'll swipe something off the table. What happened is this caregiver grabbed Dylan, and that's not part of our plan ever. We just are hands off. We don't need to grab Dylan and say anything or stop him. We just ignore it. And that is, by the way, and has been the most effective way to reduce Dylan's anxiety and resulting outbursts. So in this situation, for whatever reason, this person grabbed Dylan and restrained him. So much so that they hit heads, and Dylan may have suffered a very mild concussion, but he also had cuts to the side of his face and his hand, and where the caregiver says he doesn't know how that happened. So it's hard, isn't it, when I don't know if any of you have had things like this happen, but it's really hard it was devastating to hear for Dylan, to know that someone that we've trusted for so long would have done something like this. So he was dismissed immediately, and as a result of that, there's just been a lot of changes. We had another staff come in who just wasn't a good match. Nothing, no judgment there, just some people are not matches, just like when we make friends. And we have another staff that's starting, and we have other people also who've been supporting Dylan. But it's just been a rocky time, And I think some of you know if you're reading the emails, we are also in the midst of a big change that I'm slowly explaining to Dylan that we're moving. Um, so I'll talk more about that in another video email. But I am really open and wanting to hear from you about your experiences with your son or daughter, their anxiety, maybe their outbursts, maybe they don't have outbursts, how all that's going, how all that is going, because it produces, for me anyway, my experiences when I see that for Dylan and I see him so upset and dysregulated, it makes me upset and anxious, right? And I get defensive of, oh my goodness, I can't believe I let this happen. And now what am I going to do? All that. We start what I call like circling the drain of just all the negative things. So I try, and I have been trying since this happened in probably a month ago, just to really be grateful, not without being trite about this, but to be grateful for the parts of Dylan's day, and the people that he's with that I do feel I can trust and that he feels happy with. So that's where we are now. Good to talk to you. And please reply. Those who have, thank you. I love reading about your family, your sons and daughters, and your life. So take care, and we will talk soon.